you've been paying attention to my channel recently, you probably will have noticed that I've been uploading less frequently, as well as shooting in some different locations. And as I mentioned in a vlog that I filmed in October, that is all because I am now back in person as a full-time student at the University of Toronto. And today's video is kind of in a vein related to school because I'm going to talk about how many of these I've been seeing around campus. So for the uninitiated, this is an iPad, an Apple iPad. It doesn't actually matter which one, whether it's the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, the iPad Mini. And then this right here is the Apple Pencil. This particularly is the first generation because that's the only one that's compatible with this iPad. Regardless of the exact product name and serial number, this combination is the iconic duo that I've been seeing around campus. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And if you're going into university sometime soon or you're already there, I'm going to talk about the merits of a pairing like this and how it might be useful for your classes. So the general thesis here is that with the iPad, it's a super light, thin, and portable device you can take with you to your classes. Inside my winter jacket, there's an inside pocket. The iPad easily fits in there. It's very portable. I've got a D-brand skin on mine as kind of a way to prevent scratches. I've also got the folio case from Apple to protect the screen, but I just took it off for the purposes of demonstration in this video. And then you use this super amazing portable device to take notes during your classes using the Apple Pencil. And I'm going to talk about why that's so convenient right now. So for most of my classes, and in fact, a lot of classes on campus, the way the professors provide notes is through just a slideshow, a PowerPoint, or a PDF, or maybe even just a written document that's in PDF format. So that'll be posted online before the lecture as a means of following along with the lecture, as a starting point for notes, as a way to know ahead of time what's going to be talked about during the lecture. Of course, the lecture is going to expand upon what's already in the notes, so you need to be able to add or annotate those notes in order to get the complete picture of what was discussed during that course and that lecture specifically. So that's where the Apple Pencil comes in. If you use a notes app on here, such as Notability, I use GoodNotes, that's another good one. Or if you just have the slides open in a multitasking window alongside the stock Apple Notes app where you're taking notes or even typing, then that'll be a great way too to keep up on the material and take some really good notes during the class. It all comes down to handwriting. Handwriting is something we've been doing almost certainly longer than we've been typing, and it's just very intuitive and very fast and easy to scribble down some quick notes, especially on a tricky to format thing. Like I know in one of my lectures, just for reference, I'm in a business program, so just think about that when you're thinking about the courses, and this is specifically very lecture heavy. There are lots of tutorials that I have as well, but this is mainly lecture focused, is that there'll be a lot of things on the slides, and sometimes we'll even get a .pptx file, a Microsoft PowerPoint file, and you can go into PowerPoint and you can add to it and you can annotate, but it's very unintuitive, right? Because you've got the slides that are formatted a certain way and you're trying to add things, maybe in the speaker notes, maybe on the slide, maybe you're, trying to annotate something that a graph or an image is showing. It's a lot easier to just be able to, write something nice and small in the margin. No time for formatting. Lectures move really fast, so you don't have time to change the font size and the color and the position. You can just write it in on the iPad, and that's the way to go, in my opinion. And clearly, this information and this thesis is not unique to me. I have seen a ton of these on campus, all kinds of iPads, all kinds of Apple Pencils, whether it's first or second generation, or even some other styluses. I know Logitech has one. There are some other brands out there. For artists, for people who need a lot of precision, that's probably not the best move, but just for taking quick notes to annotate like a PDF or something like that, that is definitely the way to go. And I talked about PowerPoint, but most of the time we just get PDFs. So you're really kind of screwed in that case because there's no way you can actively edit and annotate a PDF unless you were literally drawing on it with a stylus like this one, just writing on it on the iPad. There are people who are not going to be able to swing a purchase like this, and that is totally understandable. This is not free, and that really sucks because it is absolutely crucial, in my opinion, to be able to take really good notes during the lecture so you can go back after and have really something great to start with when it comes to making study notes for exams and quizzes and any other assessments that you might be doing. Because I know this is the way I work personally. If I don't catch it during the lecture, it's not making it back into my brain at any point because you're sitting there for 2 hours, you're absorbing a ton of material. If you didn't have time to scribble something down really quick that was said during the lecture that might be important, you're probably gonna miss it. And that's why something like this is really key. As I mentioned, I completely understand that not everybody can make a purchase like this because it is expensive. There's no way to get around it. But the good news is there's lots of different price points. Obviously, there are options other than Apple. I'll be the first to acknowledge that as somebody who uses an Android phone, as a matter of fact. But within the Apple ecosystem, you've still got a lot of choice. You've got the iPad Pros at the high end, the 11, the 13-inch. Those are great. Now, stepping down, you've got the iPad Air, which really is basically an iPad Pro at this point. If you look at the specs, they're very similar. Then there's the iPad mini. If you're going ultra portable, you know what? That's on you. That could be a great decision. Personally, the mini is more expensive than this base model iPad, which I'll talk about in a second, and is also smaller. So for me, when I'm trying to write, small notes in the margins, the mini can actually be a hindrance in that way. But if you're going for something ultra portable, that's definitely the move. And then on the lowest end, you've got something like this. This is the base model iPad. So this particular one I bought in 2021 in about June. So you can kind of see whatever the current model was. Screen size, 10.1 inches, I believe. And the great news about this is on the low end. So in the US, I just know US pricing because I pay so much attention to these things. This guy is about $329, brand new. You throw in the Apple Pencil, which is about $99, and right there, $430 for this killer combo is great. But the good news is, if you can't quite swing that either, there are some great options out there on the refurbished or used site, even first party on Apple's website. Even if you get a base model iPad from a couple of years ago, the battery is still going to be good, the performance is still going to be excellent for basic note-taking tasks, and you're going to save a little bit of money on the refurbishment. And the great news is, with the lower end iPads, you do get the first gen Apple Pencil. While not as good on latency, and while it uses the completely stupid charging mechanism, it still does function for what you need it to do. So you can definitely probably get a combo like this if you do some really smart shopping for around $300. Just US, of course, just based on my estimation. So combo like this for $300, for the time that it'll save you and for the benefit that you'll get in the university experience, I think it's extremely worth it. Now, of course, this is just me speaking, so I can't really speak to everybody. So if you are already in a university program or you're about to be, I would definitely speak to someone in the program that you're trying to get into or that you're already in to see about their specific experience. For me, I'm, as mentioned, in a business program. So if you're in a science or a psychology or a life science or something like that, or maybe even engineering, things might be radically different for you in terms of the format of your lectures, the format of the provided materials by the professors and TAs. So you're going to want to do some research on that yourself. But just from a general perspective, on campus, the things that I see in lectures, a lot of students are rocking this combo because clearly it is very beneficial to a wide swath of the student body in terms of taking notes and staying on top of the material covered in lectures and tutorials. So this was my first videos kind of speaking specifically to the university experience, what's going on in lectures, what's going on in tutorials, what the tech is that students are using, what's popular out there on campus. So if you like this kind of content, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to make some more. I've got plenty of thoughts on the best tech for getting your homework done, for being on Zoom calls, for online classes. I've got lots of ideas. So let me know if you want to see anything like that. And in the meantime, I am still uploading monthly while school is in session. probably monthly also once school is out of session, because going to be a lot of work still going on, but I will let you know on this YouTube channel. I believe I've unlocked community posts, so keep your eye on the community tab on my channel for updates like that, and you can also follow me on Twitter at KyleGNew for all the latest about this channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. I hope it was informative, I hope it was helpful, and now I am overexposed because the sun came back out outside. So I'm gonna end this video right here, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.